Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here, and today I have a layout for the Rachel Jefferies creative team working with Hear My Voice, the Watching collection today. And so this one is super fun, all about observing the world around us, observing experiences. And so let me share with you some of the basics for this layout here landing on my Photoshop screen as I designed the layout for printing. And so you can see I started with the patterned paper with the face on the right hand side. And there's a slight line on the left-hand side. And what I did was took the second pattern paper, the green with the circles, and I sort of cut that along that line that's on the first pattern paper and used that as a jumping off point for the opposing side that we started with on the right. And we're following through over here on the left. We have an eye, which you can very clearly see popping out from underneath the embellishments and the mixed media elements, balanced by the eye in the photo. And so I'll go into more detail about what the eye and the photo represent here. And let's jump into the process. Okay, so to my filming desk, my work desk here, check this beautiful floral. This is the star of the collection, I truly believe. I printed it on vellum, and just a reminder, when you print on vellum, you can use either side of the print. Here you can have a closer look at what I printed for the background. Now, the two pattern papers, as I mentioned, I've added mixed media elements, threads, stamps, the notice, all the things, and the journal spot I've borrowed from the template that goes along with this collection. And I've mirrored some of those elements on the right-hand side. And of course, you can see this fantastic face that is drawn onto that pattern paper. And I love the eye staring straight at the eye in the photo. There's just a very definitive message there to look. And I love that. I love the bluntness of that. And then I did arrange for some of the tags and the word strips to go alongside of that face on the right hand side, just to balance out what's happening on the left hand side. And you'll also notice, check out this tag. This tag in the original collection only has the slightly textured background on it. The florals are one of the stamps in the collection. And I also printed that on vellum because I wanted you to see kind of the difference that effect gives you. And I'm also not really sure which one I'm going to use yet. As mentioned, I printed the floral element on vellum as well. And the banner I've printed on vellum just for some kind of ethereal look here. Some more texture and dimension on the page. I'm lining up the frame with the journaling and the word art taken from the template. Now, the photo itself is of River's eye. And the journaling refers to how observant that River is. They've always been that kind of person that sometimes they're very quiet and taking in the world. And then later on, they'll share with me some of the things that they have observed or witnessed or think about what they've seen. And I think that's always amazing to hear what they think about the world around them and what they're aware of. So that's kind of why I focused on the eyes. The eyes appear in several places in the ephemera and the mixed media, and again in that pattern paper. And not just the eyes, but the circles. And the circles to me represent a lens. And what we see through our lens isn't always perfect, right? All of the circles are fairly imperfect. Not a judgment. They're delightfully imperfect. And that can sometimes give us a moment to pause and think. One of the things I wanted to note as well is the second tag. This is, the same tag that I used with the floral element, but I've, clipped one of the journal cards to that tag, to give a different kind of dimension there. And then I've added the ribbon. The ribbon is one of the elements in the collection. And absolutely you could use a regular ribbon, but I thought it would be kind of cool to just use a paper element there. And I've stapled it to the tag and then adhered this second tag. I did end up using the vellum, repeating more of that vellum, that soft vellum element. And I just think that tag turned out really gorgeous with the floral element on top of it. The elements in this collection really do have my heart. This little sea flare here is a fun little pop of color over here on this side of the layout as well. I've sort of bent it and curled it in on itself to make it look like a rounded flare, and then popped it up with pop dots. That is the only piece that I popped up today. Everything else is simply adhered directly to the pattern papers. I also, just another little note, I added a bunch of paint splatters. There are a couple of paint splatters in the collection. And also you'll notice a little tiny star. It appears in white and black, and that is actually a part of the word art that you see underneath the observations word strip. And I just grabbed it from there and recolored it to contrast against the white background. Thank you so much for joining me today. Of course, I will have links down below to this beautiful collection. And as always, I'll see you back here again real soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.